Well, hey, howdy, hello. You know what time it is. It's just past 11:11. It's time to take a deep breath and let it go. Let some stress roll off ya. I'm going to do a quick body check, and as usual, I invite you to join me to whatever degree feels good in your body. If it does, I encourage you to at least take a deep breath or two and just let it go. Maybe check in with your alignment. See if your ear is over your shoulder. Shake those shoulders around. Let's shake those ears around first. Shake those shoulders around. And the shoulders over hips. Shake those hips around. Hips over ankles. Shake those ankles around. Just give a little jiggle wiggle and let's take a few deep breaths and let go of some stress. Ready? Breathing in, looking up, and then just letting that go. Let your arms swing again. Just letting it go. One more time. Wiggling all that out. I encourage you to try different sorts of size, different sorts of inhales and exhales. Just bring your attention into your body a little bit more. See what you can see. Maybe listen and see what you hear. Hear what you hear. I'm going to do a forward fold, making sure not to lock the knees, bringing my attention into the bottoms of my feet for a breath or so, rooting myself into the center of the earth, rooting myself to the center of the sky. I'm going to give a little head rub there because that feels like it needs it, apparently. A little more exhaling. And then I'm going to bend from the hips with a relatively flat back, just swan diving on down toward the floor. Coming all the way down to the floor, bending the knees if necessary. And then straightening the legs as much as possible, keeping hands on the floor. Relaxing the belly. Again, you can bend the knees and then straighten them more or less. Just relaxing the belly, relaxing the back. One more time, bending the knees. Relaxing the back, relaxing the belly. I'm going to bend the knees, swing the arms back, lifting the eyes and chest and arms, coming into a bit of a counter stretch, pushing the hips forward. Just enjoying that, and then letting it go again. Let's roll down this time, nice and slow, just checking in with the spine still. Curling down, noticing along the way where it's sticky, where it's supple, where it's stiff. If there's any hitches in the giddy up there's a few. Just noticing them. Seeing if they got anything to say to me. Coming all the way down past the waist to hang from the hips. And again, just letting go of the shoulders and the head and the neck. Let's come over toward the left, pulling gently on the left foot with the hands, or the left leg, just for some torque, twist, and then back to center. And then over to the right. Again, using hands on leg for a little extra torque and support. Relaxing the belly. And then back to center. I'm going to come over to the left, and this time lifting the left arm to add a little more twist. Gazing up past those left fingertips if possible. Really wringing out those internal organs. Saying hello. Giving the back a nice twist. And then coming back to center again. Looking behind the body, relaxing that belly. And then left hand on right leg or foot. And lifting that right hand to gaze up past the fingertips. Again, we're wringing out those organs, giving the spine a nice twist. Just noticing what it's got to say today. I'm going to gaze behind the body and then roll on up, push it from the bottoms of the feet. Tipping the tailbone first, one vertebra at a time, rolling on up. Just still noticing where it's sticky, where it's supple. Whoa. Let's do some more deep breathing. Breathing in. Just letting the arms hang, swing. I'm going to do that, but with a circle up top, a little more Qigong-ish breathing. So I like to breathe in, make a circle up top, and then step to the left. Let that go, and then step back forward. Breathing in, circle up top, and step to the right. You can get into your own rhythm there, breathing in, and kind of sweeping behind me the past. I just kind of like to notice the energetics of that in my own body. I encourage you to feel that in your own body. Bringing that back down into the feet. I'm going to step back with the left foot into a moderate lunge. Pulling that back hip forward, forward hip back. Tipping the tailbone under a little bit. Checking that the front toes are not crunching past. Front knee is not crunching past the front toes. You can crunch the toes just past the knee. You can do whatever you want with both of them, but for me, that's a personal little check. Checking that back heel. Trying to push onto the parallel lines with the feet and the perpendicular line with the pelvis. So still pulling that back hip forward, forward hip back. Tipping the pelvis under. Looking for a nice long and strong line through the core. Nice long and strong lines with the feet. Just bring the arms up into it, making sure not to crunch up in the shoulders. Bring those arms down in front, rolling those shoulders down and back. And just bring my focus, sharp eyes, as I like to call it, onto the tips of my fingers. And then softer eyes, gazing out at the imaginary horizon, noticing my peripheral view, imagining I'm seeing all the way around the earth or my heart, and envisioning the back of my own head. And then sharp focus again on my fingertips. And again, soft eyes out at the horizon. One more time, sharp focus on the fingertips, and this time I'm going to swing that back heel forward onto the perpendicular line. So that foot's like that, this one's still like that, which opens the hips. Swinging this knee out that way and this hip that way, and I'm going to follow the arc of this finger across the sky, opening the hips, opening the hands, pressing my body against this imaginary plane here. It's a real plane. It's a plane! Oh, sorry, not that kind of plane. Did I say sorry? I meant not sorry. I'm going to slide this back foot out on that perpendicular line a little bit more to bring the body onto the diagonal. I could use this leg for support if need be, but try not to sink on that leg. Bringing that other hand onto that diagonal line. Then we slide that foot out a little bit more, bringing this hand down on the inside. So right arm against right leg. I like to kind of match up my elbow and knee, or my shoulder and knee, coming into a deeper diagonal line there. And then I'm going to shift onto that back toe and bring this hand down on the inside of this front leg, bringing that into a nice deep lunge. Enjoying that for a breath or so. And then I'm going to bring weight onto the hands and bring that front foot back to meet the back foot, pressing through the palms, through the spine, tipping the tailbone. I think my camera is at a wrong angle. Pressing into those heels, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head, pressing the heart toward the earth. And then I'm going to swing the body forward, keeping the legs together and dropping the hips, lifting the eyes and chest, keeping the shoulders down and keeping the elbows in close to the body, pulling the legs, butt, heels together and letting the belly just drop. Relaxing the front of the belly, getting into that stretch. Sometimes I like to wiggle the hips around a little bit there. Add some tongue stretch and funny noises if you want. Rocking on the toes sometimes makes that a better stretch for me. Still try not to sink in those shoulders. And then lifting the hips again, pressing back from the palms through the spine, tipping the tailbone to the back of the head, pressing into those heels. And then I'm going to swing that left foot forward into a nice deep lunge, swinging the foot between the hands this time. Coming into a nice deep lunge. And I'm going to step forward with that back foot into a forward fold. Hanging here again from the hips. Just letting go again of the spine. Noticing how everybody's doing now. We're getting a little warmed up. I'm going to roll back up. Just checking in with the spine again. Give that a couple breaths. I'm going to step back with the right foot into a moderate lunge on the other side. Pulling that back hip forward, forward hip back. Tucking the tailbone under a little bit. Checking that my knee isn't crunching past the toes. Pressing into that back heel. Looking for a nice perpendicular line with the hips. Parallel lines with the feet. Nice and long and strong through the core. Connected to the sky. Connected to the earth. Just enjoying that sensation for a breath or so. Then we'll bring the hands up. Rolling those shoulders back and down, and bringing the hands down in front. Sharp eyes on the fingertips. And then soft eyes gazing out at the horizon, imagining that I'm seeing the back of my own head. Gazing around the world, around my heart. And then sharp focus again on the tips of the fingers. And again, soft eyes out at the horizon, noticing that peripheral view all around. And then sharp focus again on the fingertips. And now I'm going to swing that back heel onto the perpendicular line, opening the hips, swinging this knee this way and these hips this way, and tracking this finger across the horizon or top of sky. Finding this plane here, and then sliding that foot out a little bit more. I'm going to come onto the diagonal line, not collapsing on this, but using that as a support if necessary, and looking for this diagonal sensation out the leg, through the spine, out the fingertips. Sliding that foot out a little bit more, bringing that hand down on the inside, left hand inside of left foot, left elbows near the knee, coming onto that diagonal line again, A little bit deeper this time. Just enjoying the energetic line out the foot, through the spine, out the fingers. And then I'm going to shift onto the toes of that foot, bringing both hands down on the inside of that left leg for a nice deep lunge on that side. Bringing weight onto the hands and bringing that front foot back to meet the back foot. Pressing through the palms, fingers are wide. Heart pressing toward the center of the earth, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head. Pressing into those heels. I'm going to bend the right knee, pressing into the left. And bend the left, pressing into the right. Just treading those heels. Again, pressing into the left, pressing into the right. Pressing back into both heels. Give it a nice sigh. I'm going to swing the body forward again, keeping elbows in close to the body, keeping legs close together, dropping the belly and lifting the chest and the eyes. Making sure not to sink in those shoulders, just letting the belly relax if possible. Stretch out the tongue a little bit. Rock on those toes if you feel like it. Stretch one side and the other through the abdomen there, if that feels good. Do make sure and listen to your own body. Do what feels good to you. I'm going to lift those hips, pressing again. Back through the palms, through the spine, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head. Pressing into those heels. And then swinging the right foot forward in between the hands for a nice deep lunge on that side. Enjoying that for a breath or so. And then stepping forward with that back foot back into a forward fold. And hanging here one more time from the hips. Letting go of the head and neck, letting go of the shoulders. Swiggling around down there. Bend the knees and swing the arms back. Again, coming into a counter stretch. Lifting the hands and the eyes and the chest. Pushing the hips forward. See if you can relax the belly there. And coming back up to upright. Swing the hands a little bit. Well, I hope you're doing well this fantastic day. I'm feeling well. Hi, Victor. Hi, Nicholas. Good to see you out there. Let's do just a little bit of balancing. I'm going to bring weight onto the right foot. Adjust the breeches on the shirt as need be. And bringing this left knee up toward left shoulder. Relaxing that supporting side. Relaxing the supporting foot. Relaxing the shoulders, tucking the tailbone under a little bit. Let's do a little ankle rotation for a good measure. One way and the other way. Reach for the bottom of that foot. Still working to relax that supporting side. Getting a nice stretch through the arms and the shoulders. Just with the weight of that foot. And then pulling back and down with the shoulders, pulling that foot up a little bit more. And if you feel up for a stretch, forward fold in the air, straightening that leg. As is comfortable, just exploring that range of motion. I'm going to let that go with the right. You can hold on to that imaginary doorway if you need it. I'm just going to bring that off to the side a little bit. And just exploring range of motion. And balance. I'll bring this foot in to the supporting side and imagine myself a flexible tree on a mountain. Enjoying the breeze. tree? Would you be a tree with needles or leaves? Inquiring minds want to know. I'm going to set that down and stomp that out. And bring your weight onto the left. Bringing the right knee up to the right shoulder, relaxing those shoulders, relaxing that supporting side, relaxing the supporting foot. Let's give a little ankle rotation on that side. One way and the other way. And then reaching for the bottom of that foot, enjoying the nice stretch through the shoulders and arms. And then pulling back and down with those arms and shoulders. And if you're feeling up for it, trying a straight leg forward fold in the air. Checking out the balance on that side. Noticing how the two sides are different, how they're the same, how they work together. Letting go of the left and bringing that out to the right a little bit. Just exploring that range of motion. Haven't been keeping up with my minimums or my balances, so it feels good to get back to a little of it. It's nothing you can do when you fall off track, but get back on track, as I'm known to say a lot. I bring this foot onto the supporting side, swinging this knee back a little bit, still tucking that tailbone under, relaxing the shoulders. And again, I'm going to imagine myself a tree with leaves rustling in the gentle breeze. Just letting all that go. Let's do some hand circles. Check in with the finger and wrist bones. There's a lot of little bones in there. Stretching those out. Let's go the other way. Shake them out a bit. Let's do a little arm stretching across the body. Wiggle that shoulder around. Letting that go. Other arm across the body. Again, noticing how the two sides are different, how they're the same. Seeing what they got to say today. Shaking that out. I'm going to do a little behind the back stretching for good measure. Rolling shoulder blades together. Rolling elbows towards each other. Pressing palms. Start with that counter stretch. Back. Pushing the hips forward. You can play with pulling those hands around for various stretch. And then coming back to upright. And then folding from the hips, making sure not to lock those knees. Coming again into a forward fold, this time with the hands in an active stretch. Just letting go in the belly, letting go in the back. Just actively stretch that with the muscles a little bit, and then I'm going to relax that, leaving hands gently clasped and letting elbows fall away, bringing hands down to the low back. Let's give that low back a little love, relaxing the belly. And then coming down the back of the body, checking in with the hamstrings, backs of knees, backs of calves, ankles. Come around, check with the toes. Hey, toes. I'm going to roll up slowly, checking in with the front of the body, just giving a little love to the calves, to the kneecaps, to the thighs, up through the pelvis, reproductive organs, digestive organs, circulatory organs. Let's give a little drum check through here. Give a little more detoxing, a little releasing and encouraging a flow through the arms, where I tend to hold a lot of stagnation. Shake that off. Oh, I think I do got some clap snaps today. They're coming back. It's a good feeling when you get your clap snaps back. I'm going to do just a little bit of warming the hands, putting loving intention into my hands, and then just placing that on my face. Letting that soak in, and then releasing any worries, stresses, any face scrunching emotions right into the hands there. And then just smoothing that off and releasing it back to the universe to be recycled. And do that again. Rubbing the hands together, placing loving, lighthearted presence into the hands. Letting that soak into the face and the head, sink down into the heart, trickle all the way down into the toes, just filling the whole body with loving lightheartedness. And gathering up any stresses or worries or cares that no longer serve me, and just releasing all that back to the universe to be recycled. I hope you're remembering to take a little time to enjoy your life. Be good to yourself, because you're worth it. Play in your body, because it's here for you to play in. You might as well. I mean, what are you doing with your life? I'm just kidding. Kidding, not kidding. Hey, Rich. Hey, Meredith. It's great to see you. I wish you a fantastic day. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being you. Thank you for loving yourself. I'll be seeing you. Peace.